We're back with Andrew and Brendan, who have been tracking the Trump administration's moves, things that have sort of flown under the radar so far, like the new Attorney General in her first day in office giving more freedom for foreign actors to influence and threaten American elections, or how work has essentially stopped at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. And that new chair of the FTC has said he will stop regulating artificial intelligence, both of them independent agencies that are meant to protect consumers. We're back with Andrew and Brendan.
Yeah, so there's a couple statutes that that it's worth paying attention to. The Foreign Agents Registration Act. Sounds complicated, but basically, if you are a foreign person or a foreign government and you want to lobby here, if you want to affect public opinion here, you can do that. But you have to disclose what you're doing to the public. You have a filing that's required by the Department of Justice. Pam Bondi has said that those criminal prosecutions will end. That is something I'm dying to wait to hear Senator Grassley figure out how he's going to say, okay, this is great, because Senator Grassley has been, to his credit, somebody who has been talking about how this is such an important statute. This is to stop foreign grift here in the United States with lobbyists here, lobbyists hired overseas.
Why would you get rid of it?
Exactly. I mean, this is just notice that you have to do, and people were ignoring it. And during the Mueller investigation and after that, the point of criminal prosecutions, which requires notice and proving intent, et cetera, was suddenly everyone was complying. It dramatically went up. That's what happens when you bring a criminal case, which is what Senator Grassley was saying needed to have been done a long time ago. So that is making the road really clear for doing this without anyone knowing, so that you will have all sorts of foreign money pouring in. People will make a fortune here doing that kind of work without having to disclose it, and with the threat of criminal sanction being taken away. Civilly, they're supposed to do it, but the civil sanction is clearly not going to be enough. The other is the FCPA, Foreign Corrupt Practices Act. Just to give some context and to be nerdy, Donald Trump, before he became president the first time, had reportedly hated the statute, wanted to get rid of it. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson, former head of Exxon, reports he had to sort of talk Donald Trump down because Donald Trump came to him and said, can you get rid of this statute? And he was like, it's a congressional statute. No. And also, we want it. He was like, I understand, as somebody who used to work for Exxon as the head of it, we do not want to have make it so that in all of the world, everybody can just bribe. And the person who gets the business is not the best company. It's the person with the highest bribe. Pam Bondi, in this memo that she has not highlighted, said, we're only going to be looking at the FCPA as it relates to drug cartels.
Why would you do that?
So your boss has criticized the FCPA. He has tried to get rid of it and asked Rex Tillerson to get rid of it. This is de facto accomplishing that, which is that, you know what? It's all transactional. There's no law. This is law of the jungle.
So Trump gets a kickback and the company gets...
It's all about you just pay money. And so if you are an American company now, you are sitting there going, okay, there's now not going to be criminal enforcement of this. And suddenly, am I now supposed to be competitive? Like my adversaries who are bribing, I can't go to the Department of Justice and say, stop this. I want to be on an even playing field. So now what are they supposed to bribe? Like this is how sort of, Russia works. This is how tons of sort of third world country works do not have a rule of law, where the point is you just bribe whoever you need to get the business. I mean, that is shocking.
How does the business community not recoil at that? They're going to have to add pieces to their budget for paying bribes?
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of thing that this particular component is going to be sending shockwaves through companies as to how are they supposed to deal with this. Because for so long, through Republican and Democratic administrations, they have been beating the drum of you have to comply with this statute, and there's the threat of criminal prosecution if you don't, and applying it to overseas actors so that everyone's on the same playing field. This is basically saying, you know what? It's a law of the jungle.